With AEW removing a fan from their Dynamite show this weekend more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for December 23rd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Following his AEW debut last year, Eddie Kingston has grabbed the attention of fans for his way of eviscerating his opposition on the microphone. With TalkSport, Eddie Kingston touched on his friendship with Jon Moxley, revealing Mox tried to help him get into WWE years ago. Jon has been one of the biggest advocates for me in my whole career since we met. A lot of people don't know that he was trying to get me into WWE years ago, trying his best to do what he could. Hey, I told this guy to check you out, and this is me and Jon not talking for years, and out of nowhere he'll text me, hey, I told so and so to watch your match from blah blah blah, and I'll be like, who is this? And he'll be like, Jon. I'll be like, oh hey, what's up, Mox? That's the kind of friends we are. After being released by WWE in April, Mickie James has gone back to the NWA and Impact Wrestling. Now, it seems she has a goal in mind that she wants to achieve before retirement, as she told True Heel Heat. I still would want a moment with Charlotte because I never got it, and that's number one. That will always be, I really wanted to have that moment with her. I don't know why it matters so much. I'm just like, God, we finally got that little moment in the Rumble, a little beat, and it was pretty awesome. My whole tenure there, the whole time I was back, we were never in the ring together until that moment, which is so crazy to me. I was pretty much in there. I would have loved to have a real angle with Sasha, Bayley, Becky. I love all those girls. They're mega talented, and I always think about what I could do with them or what we could do together. Given the news of Kyle O'Reilly's and Johnny Gargano's WWE contracts running out, many were wondering when we could see them in action again. Well, O'Reilly has made his return to pro wrestling, debuting for AEW on Dynamite during Adam Cole's match against Orange Cassidy, where Kyle snuck up on and took out Cassidy for Cole to pick up the win. After the show, O'Reilly took to Twitter writing, "Life is crazy, and I'm very grateful that my professional wrestling abilities have taken me to a new frontier in which to explore my ass-kicking ways. Proud to be a part of AEW, and thanks to Tony Khan for the opportunity. If you're a fan of mine from elsewhere, I hope you continue to support me. If you're new to KOR, prepare to see a man that pours his effing soul into that ring every night and has an unquenchable thirst for cans of whoop ass. Also, Red Dragon is back." Adam Cole would also react with a picture noting the game has changed. With Johnny Gargano taking time away from wrestling to be home when his wife gives birth, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast that it baffles him that Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly would leave WWE. "When I hear these guys say I want to leave a company and I cannot wait to go and have a match with X and Y, I just cannot wait to have a match with this wrestler. The match with this wrestler is going to be a 5-star match." When people start thinking about the matches more than taking care of their own family and how much money they can make when they walk away from wrestling, because it is not going to last forever, it just simply baffles the hell out of me. It becomes about a damn match. I loved every match I was in, every performance I gave, but none of it surpassed me taking care of my family. Speaking of Gargano, Dave Meltzer would note on Wrestling Observer Radio that he could be making his debut for AEW soon. As more time goes on, I have this feeling that Gargano will debut in Cleveland. That would be the right night to do it, right? It's, I think, maybe late January, maybe January 26th. I don't know 100% that he's going, but he's talking about wanting to wrestle Kenny Omega. It's things he said both publicly and privately. I know he's heavily considering it. With Gargano apparently having no non-compete clause, this hometown debut certainly seems like a possibility. With Kevin Owens recently re-signing with WWE to a multi-year contract, Ric Flair talked about KO's run in the company so far, saying, "I think the world of Kevin Owens. He's a respectful, nice guy. He has unlimited talent. He has a hell of an interview. Before he ever used the stunner, he called Steve Austin and asked him. That's respect. I did a segment with him on a Thanksgiving Starrcade show. It was the Kevin Owens KO show, and he asked me, what do you want to talk about? I said, hey, you're the boss. He said, you're Ric Flair. I said, that doesn't mean anything to me right now. We'll talk about whatever whatever you want to talk about. He's a very respectful kid with a ton of talent. He takes these huge bumps and all that. I'm happy for him and I wish nothing but success. He's a great guy. At the Day 1 pay-per-view, Owens will be taking part in a fatal 4-way match for the WWE title against Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and the champion Big E. Earlier in the month, AEW star Jack Evans went on Twitter to let fans know he was being fined roughly $350 by Mexican authorities. He would say if he got arrested on drug charges, he was being framed. In a recent video he posted, Evans alleges the police in Del Valle were trying to extort him. Here's the clip.
De nuevo, la policía están aquí para extorsión. No voy a pagarte nada. Déjame en paz. Déjame en paz. Deja. No. Este es ridiculoso. Deja todo el multi en paz. Corrupción de policía. Ya, no. Dejas en paz. No. Vámonos en dentro. No más. Chica su pinche madre, tu pinche pendejo. No. We can't call the police. These are the police that always extort everyone in the multi. Todos. No, I'm not. No, este es ridiculoso. Me roban 7,000 pesos. 200. No, es policía corrupción, ¿ok? No quiero creo, pero nada. No, yo soy afuera para 2 segundos y ellos están esperando para mí. La segunda yo soy aquí, boom, ellos están allí y tratan de tomar. Y like, ¿por qué corres? Yo corro porque me roban, porque corrupción la policía en el departamento del Valle. Ya, lárgate, y no regresas. Todo sí.
Despite The Undertaker having his final match at WrestleMania 36 and announcing his retirement at Survivor Series, many fans are hoping to see the dead man return at Mania 38. On his podcast, Booker T would express doubt in this comeback taking place. You know, honestly, I really do not think we will get to see The Undertaker in ring at WrestleMania 38. The thing is, can The Undertaker come back and have one more match? I'm almost certain he could. That's what wrestlers do, whether they can do it or not. It is almost like, okay, there's the ring right there, just push me and I'll do the rest. That's the way wrestlers are. Can The Undertaker go out there and do another match? Yes, I think he could. But I think for the nostalgia of The Undertaker, it's too early to see him in the ring right now and really get the bang for our buck. If he came back and did it now, I don't think we'll get that same feeling. Fans are excited to have CM Punk in AEW, especially given his current feud with MJF. On PW Torch, Wade Keller noted that Punk is keeping to himself backstage. Punk is isolating himself in AEW in the sense that he has his own locker room. Cody has his own locker room. Bryan Danielson, by the way, changes with everyone else. He doesn't have his own locker room. Punk does have his own locker room. Now, for whatever it's worth, so does Darby. Some people just want to be with themselves and other people are more social, and Punk has long established that. Speaking of the feud between Punk and MJF, Keller would note that despite all the verbal jousting on screen, it seems like Punk has been totally cool with everything, like showing no signs that MJF went too far, and that MJF and Punk seem to get along well behind the scenes when people see them together planning their segments, so it doesn't seem like there's any tension at all. On Dynamite, Nyla Rose would be on the receiving end of a loss at the hands of Ruby Soho. That was not all, as she had to deal with a fan holding up a sign which appears to say Nyla Rose is that guy's dad with an arrow. Nyla would flip off that fan, with that person apparently in attendance being removed from the arena. As Fightful reported, I'm told the fan at AEW Dynamite with the shitty signs was removed. Wrestle Voice 1 would add, he was removed. They had to track him down, but when they got him, he was emphatically removed from the building. Rose would have support from her wife, as another user replied. Nyla Rose flips off the rude transphobe, wrestles a fantastic match, and goes back home to her loving wife, sick Twitch stream and wrestling fame. That's the energy we need in this world. Speaking of Nyla, a user on Twitter apparently had something to say to the star, which she did not take well, replying in a since-deleted post, "You tweeting out needless hateful shit like this and you wonder why God put you in a wheelchair. Keep on rolling, brother." In some unfortunate news, former WWE star Corporal Kirchner passed away at the age of 64 on Wednesday following a heart attack in his home in North Carolina, as WWE released this statement. "We are saddened to learn that Michael Penzel, better known as Corporal Kirchner and beloved by fans all over the world, passed away yesterday at the age of 64. Our sincerest thoughts are with his family, friends, and those affected by his passing. After serving as a paratrooper in the U.S. Army, Kirchner would meet Hulk Hogan while working in a gym, and began paving the trail for an incredible career in sports entertainment. After debuting as RT Reynolds, Penzel began competing as Corporal Kirchner and engaged in a memorable rivalry with Nikolai Volkov. The battle culminated with a flag match victory for Kirchner at WrestleMania 2. Following his run at WWE, Kirchner would travel the globe competing for Stampede, NJPW, the UWF, Wing, and other promotions. Kirchner would later appear inside the Squared Circle as Leatherface and capped off his career in 2007. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.